Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good weekend, whenever you find yourself watching or listening to this. Welcome. This is the first in a series of what I've decided to call Soul Sermons, a series of maybe 20-minute teachings, including readings, prayers, blessings, and maybe a little wisdom teaching thrown in for good measure. So I hope you enjoy this, whether you're sitting with it, listening, or going about your day, or this in the background. I hope that this brings you some peace, some happiness, some alignment or insight. So today we're going to start with a prayer from the Buddhist tradition. This is a popular prayer that found its beginning in the Japanese tradition of Buddhism. And it's called the Golden Chain Prayer to Amida. Amida is one of the wisdom Buddhas. We are a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. We will keep our link bright and strong. We will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all those who are weaker than ourselves. We will think pure and beautiful thoughts. Say pure and beautiful words. And do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's chain of love be bright and strong. And may we all attain perfect peace. Okay, so as some of you may know who join in and watch the Soul Sangha regularly, I'm what is called a responder. So therefore, if there's nothing to respond to in life, I tend to sit silently or do my thing. But when someone asks me a question, then this insight starts to come through. And as this is, even though you're listening to this now, I'm not in connection with you physically or can't hear your questions or your thoughts. What I like to do is draw a card from my Osho Zen tarot deck with the intention that there will be some kind of teaching there for both you and for me. Today's card is the stress card. And I've seemed to have drawn this quite a lot over the last few weeks. So what I like to meditate on in these cards is whatever comes through for us today. So let's talk about stress. So stress originally was seen as a very positive word. When the Buddha was reaching his first understanding of enlightenment or clarity, the story is that he'd put his body under incredible stress, meditating for very long periods of time, literally starving himself and doing very austere practices. And then the story is that as he was sat meditating, a novice sat with a master, came past him on the lake in a boat. And he overheard the master speaking to the novice about tuning the instrument, the stringed instrument he was learning. And the master said, don't over tighten the chord, the string, as it may break, but also don't under tighten it, as you won't be able to play music. And so this is the idea of stress, that often some of our greatest times of adventure, growth, insight come through some level of stress. They don't come from times where everything is just great, you know, loads of money, loads of love in our life, you know, loads of material comfort. My own experience is that that is a time often when the string is too loose. It's very hard to have the insight, you know. I call it intention or focus in the mind, that alert relaxedness, you know. In the Taoist philosophy, Lao Tzu describes the great ancient masters as being as alert as someone on the palace gate, a guard on the palace gate. But he also describes that they had this gentleness also. So it's useful to understand that, firstly, stress to some degree is very useful for us. Some level of the need to focus, to pay attention. However, when this causes too much stress, we have a danger of breaking. So we also need equal amounts of peace. We call this yin, relaxation, so that we're not too up in our heads, too disconnected from our own light. So this is the perfect balance of yin and yang, focus and relaxation. So if we have too little stress in our life, as has just been looked into, this is a problem. However, if we have too much stress in our life, this is equally seen as a problem. So in spirituality, we're looking at how to free ourselves from unnecessary levels of tension in the mind and in the emotional body. And so for that, we're building our pyramid, if you like. So in spirituality, it's very useful to have a body that can handle physical levels of stress. So in yoga, they have the physical postures and stretches. In Tai Chi Qigong, they have the various energy practices and physical practices. So we're building up a body that can be both relaxed and resilient. In the emotional body, we're doing the same. We're embracing emotions of stillness and peacefulness, but also we're learning how to meet emotional stress in a more mindful, a more focused, a more open, a more self-compassionate way, so that we can keep that steadiness in the emotional and energetic body as well. On the psychological level, we're learning how to have a mind that is also mentally healthy. That, in other words, a mind that has been trained to both be in a place of relaxation, but also in a place of focus. I think Lao Tzu, or in the Taoist tradition, they describe this perfectly with the analogy of a tree, in which they say, when the storm comes, if the tree doesn't have deep roots, that means if we can't focus the mind, it's blown away in the storm. However, it also says that the tree needs to be supple. You know, if the tree is too rigid, too yang, it breaks in the same storm. So often, I think it was Wayne Dyer that likened that to the palm tree. He said the palm tree is able to withstand the storm because it has deep and powerful roots, but it can also bend, it can be flexible in the face of that tension. So I believe I've pulled this card today for us both to remind us that we need both resilience through exercises for the energy body, the mind and the physical body, so we can have the deep roots of stillness and focus, but also have the ability to be flexible in our thinking, not rigid, in harmony with the Tao, with the flow of life. Sometimes the easiest way to connect with that I do each morning is very simple. Firstly, as we wake up, be still. Rest in I amness, in the the peace of being. Secondly, start to use our mind wisely, start to remember the things that went well yesterday and dream of the things that could go well today. So these are very simple techniques. So have that middle path in your life today. So now we move on to our reading. So this is a meditative reading. I invite you just to relax, to maybe close your eyes and center yourself. The readings generally that I will share with you are channeled readings that I get most mornings to help me guide and navigate my way through life. And I offer you them also as a form of meditation. This reading is for hopefully what will be my forthcoming book. And it's called The Natural Way. This is the opening. And it's called Letting Go of All Knowing. And this is a letter from that place of beauty and light that exists within us all. I believe this is a message from your soul to you. I am with you. I am always with you. But sometimes your knowing is so strong that it's hard to get through. So I tell you, let go of all knowing and open to the majesty and mystery of each moment. And I am there in the mystery. So don't tense, instead relax and open to me, the indweller of your being. I've waited for so long, even longer than you have waited for me. I am eager to serve you and to love you. You can feel me more often by lightening up, for I am light. I understand the yearning of your heart. I feel it, for I am with you. So you want to become the best and most magnificent version of yourself? So do that now. Do that always. Today, be the best and most magnificent version of yourself. I know that this voice is your own self. I am the greatest, most beautiful version of you. I am always here. It's only your desire to connect with me which is needed. Okay, so now we move on to what I call our featured teacher of today. The featured teacher is someone who appeared to me in my meditation this morning, not literally, but just as a feeling. And I feel that the reason for that is that I want to, I've been guided to give you some of his teachings. Today's teacher is called Sri Aurobindo, great Indian yogi and mystic. And when I started reading his quotations this morning, it became very apparent why I feel that these teachings were made available to all of us, as his teachings really reflect what I would love to be the soul Sangha to be about, which is reconnecting with our own light, the inner light, the soul that we all possess. So let me take you through a few of his quotations. True knowledge is not attained by thinking. It is what we are. It is what we become. There is nothing mind can do that cannot be better done in the mind's immobility and thought-free stillness. When mind is still, then truth gets her chance to be heard in the purity of the silence. An aimless life is always a troubled life. Every individual should have an aim, but do not forget that the quality of your aim will depend the quality of your life. Your aim should be high and wide, generous and disinterested. This will make your life precious to yourself and to others. Whatever your ideal, it cannot be perfectly realized unless you have realized perfection in yourself. And today's final blessing to take out into the world with you. So this is a Gaelic blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. So let's finish with a short meditation on the teachings of today. Maybe see yourself connected through the Buddha's chain to all beings. Seeing yourself in service to those who are weaker than yourself in some way. Everyone has a strength and everyone has their weaknesses. So what is your gift, your purpose, and your strength, and how can you use that as a method of service to other beings? And we relax, we free ourselves from unnecessary and excessive stress. Letting go slightly, breathing, and finding the fullness and beauty and magnificence of this moment. May we be both strong and flexible in our life. May we realize our own light, our own soul, our own magnificence and power. As Christ said, let us shine before other beings in that beauty, light, and magnificence, our nature, our soul. May we do what we came here to do, to live from that, to be magnificent, beautiful, powerful. And like waves of energy, we allow these realizations to spread through our lives in all directions to all people. The light shining into our health, our finances, our emotional body is happiness, filling our life and everyone in it with this light. I hope you enjoyed the first of these soul sermons. Enjoy your day.